So the question is now, man, because you're down to fight anybody. You know what I mean? Like, not too many people were like so like excited to fight Virgil, and you were just like, I'll fight him tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was up to you, man, would you go ahead?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes. Yes.
But,
Yes. Yes.
before I even say it, would
Yes. Yes. Of course.
would
Of
you be
course.
willing? Would you be willing to fight a Jaron Ennis at the end of the year? Or
Yes.
yes?
Yes. I would fight anybody. I want to fight. I just want like a good dance partner and fight. It doesn't matter for me. I don't know. It's maybe not smart business. I was for a long time, but I don't know what I will do. I don't know what will hold my future. I just want to fight. So
Well,
of course.
let me
The-
ask you this then. Let me ask you this because I spoke to Steven Espinoza and he said kind of like the same thing you were saying. He was just like, look, Stanionis to fight anybody. He'll fight a grizzly bear. You know what I mean? Like he'll literally fight anybody. But he also did say, even though he knows you'll fight anybody, he isn't sure if it's completely fair to you to just be like, okay, you haven't fought in a year and a half. Go ahead and fight this young guy who's just like, on a roll right now. Like for you, do you want to get maybe like a lesser fight under your belt and then move into Jaron Ennis? Or do you just want to fight Jaron Ennis from the beginning, like next?
you it's in the sport is nothing guaranteed that, if I'll fight somebody, then maybe Ennis will move up to 154 or he's going to fight some other fighters, then I'll be without a fight. So it it's smart move. It will be smart move if I'll fight anybody, but I don't know. I don't like tune-ups. I would fight, anybody. Like when they will come with an offer, I'll see, but I will not duck anybody.
Is
I just want to fight. But just I never been like this. Like I just want to fight.
is Jaron prop if you look at everybody at 147, Spence and Crawford are gonna fight in the next few weeks, week and a half, whatever. Keith Thurman and your Dennis Ugas are supposed to fight sometime in August. Do you look at Jaron and say that's the best guy that I can fight right now?
Probably yes. Probably yes. He's the guy. He showed everything, his value, his skills. Yes, he's the guy now. He's coming like new generation, coming like superstar. And he deserves it, everything. But they asked me in 2019 or 2000, no, 2020 to fight him, and I said yes twice. I don't know if maybe it was like my team or who because it's behind closed doors. What's happening, I can see and I can't control.
Hmm.
So, but I'll fight really like anyone. Of course, it's up to my team because we have to make a smart plan. And now I'm playing also, a little bit on emotions. I just landed 3 days ago, the 10-hour difference. I'm just like, I just want to fight. I went through hell. This camp, I went through hell, to be honest, through hell. It was hardest camp, but it was the best camp. Everything went smooth. Like, I don't know, like everything went perfect. There was like no, I picked up every stone, and I put in my backpack. Every stone I find, I put in my backpack, and I see there is no stones left, so I was happy.
In terms of just like your future, I mean, you got to get a fight in this year, man. And hopefully you will. And Jaron Ennis did say he's always mentioned you. He's always said that. Look, Stanionis is a great fighter, and that's somebody that I want to fight because he feels like you could take him to the next level. Um, so when you look at Jaron, do you think Jaron is a tougher fight for you than a Vergil Ortiz would have been?
I don't know because I haven't fought Vergil and I haven't fought Ennis.
Well, that's true. You haven't fought either of them, but you know boxing more than me. You know boxing more than just about anybody. But if you just looking at them, just looking at how they fight, does a part of you just say, okay, I think Jaron is better than Virgil. I think Virgil would give me a tougher fight than Jaron. How would you just looking at it from the outside?
Ennis just moves more. He has these flashy things.
Yeah.
And when I saw this fight with Willa, he really impressed me, but also I like to put myself in Villa's shoes, what I would do, to not let these things happen. And
Yeah.
then I see different, things, what will happen, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Were Speaking of his fight against Villa, did you watch the whole thing or did you watch highlights of it or
No, I watched the whole fight. I was in US at the moment because
okay.
because they couldn't change my flight tickets back to Lithuania. So I was in US the same time was.
I figured because I know your fight was happening the same night, and I just figured since your fight wasn't happening, maybe you were just like so pissed off that you were just like, I'm not watching nothing today. But what did you think about his performance overall?
No, I'm a boxing fan also. I watch all the fights and I like boxing and I like watching and especially my division and my future opponents. So like I said, yeah, he did good. He impressed me and he did some stuff, but like I said, if I put myself in Villa shoes, I would do differently. And I knew like from 2020 when I supposed to fight him, what I would do, this and that. There is small things what I can do better. I think so. It's boxing, you can't write the fighter off, any fighter. They
Yeah,
say, oh, this guy will like my last fight when I fought Butaev, most of the people said like I will get smashed, because he beat Jamal James, easily. So I said, we'll see. I just like to work in silence, and then results come.
for sure, man. I mean, if you were to beat Jaron, that'll take you to the moon, man. Because like you said,
For sure.
everybody looks at Jaron and it just like, yo, he's the guy. He's gonna beat everybody. You know what I mean? Like, do you look at Jaron and say like kind of like the same things? Like, he's great, he's talented, he's like the next great welterweight. Do you look at him in that same way?
Yeah, yeah. I think so. He's a good and great welterweight. Like I said, I don't know, how he would do with other fighters. We haven't seen a lot, but he's a good fighter. I agree. I give the flowers where it's due.
For sure, 100%, man. Do you have any thoughts on the whole um Jordanis Ugas versus Keith Thurman fight? Do you have like any thoughts on that on who can possibly win? And would you be more interested in actually positioning yourself to fight the winner of that fight as opposed to fighting Jaron Ennis?
Of course, if like to get my name, in US market, I would jump in to fight either of them, because then if I win, I'll get, more exposure and then the fight with Ennis will be bigger.
Mm,
So that makes sense also from business standpoint. So we're in sport, where promoters has to make money and the fighters. So yes, but I don't know. Do they are fight? They didn't announce the fight.
it hasn't been announced yet, but Keith Thurman did come out and say that that fight is supposed to be happening next. From the people that I talked to, it's supposed to be happening next. Who do you think is going to win that one, actually, man?
50-50. I don't know. To be
I,
honest, it's hard to say because Thurman was like off for a long time also,
yeah,
and Ugas was off for a long time, same as me. And
yeah.
I don't know. The age comes. How old is Ugas?
Ugas is about 35, 36,
35.
and
Thurman also same.
Keith Thurman is about 32, 33.
So it will be like technical fight, because like Ugas is technical, and Thurman is technical, So I don't know, 50-50. I don't even know.
Do you look at any of those guys and say like would you kind of be rooting for like I know you don't really care, but would you kind of be rooting for like maybe like a Keith Thurman only from the standpoint of Ugas is a good fighter, very good fighter, but Thurman is a former unified champ. He's a little bit more popular. So if you fight him, it's like you fight him and beat him. Okay, I'm way more popular now.
Yeah, for sure. He has a bigger name. That's like three times bigger name than Ugas. It's a honest opinion. And yeah, of course, I would root if I if I would be guaranteed, shot at Keith Thurman. I just don't want to wait, because if they will fight and then it's long layoff, because these fighters likes to fight, I don't know, once a year. I like the like in old school days they fought like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times in a year. Of course, 12 round fights, if it's tough fight, it's like, let's put 3, 4 fights a year. It's perfect scenario, I guess.
There, I know you don't want to wait, but there are a few other guys who don't have fights lined up at the moment that you could take on. Like, a guy like Rashidi Ellis. I spoke to him about a month ago. He was just like, I'll fight Stanionis. He's a good fighter. You also have like a Mario Barrios. Like, he'd probably be available. Like, is there any other name other than like a Jaron Ennis or a Keith Thurman that you can get into the ring like right now, next month and a half?
Yeah, it will be great, but also I earn my stripes, and I want to fight at bigger names. That's because they fought and they wanted also bigger names. I have a title now, so everybody wants to fight me also. So it's up to my team, and like, also, like I said, I'll fight anybody. Just give me a fight date, fair money, and let's go.
So just straight up, I know you said that just straight up, you're willing to go ahead and fight Jaron next. Would it be the same thing for Thurman and Ugas? Like if they fight next month in August, would you be willing to wait to see how that plays out and then fight the winner at the end of the year?
Yeah, both scenarios works for me.
Sounds good to me.